I was in a domestic violence relationship, marriage actually, around 2012, and it was violent and dangerous, and I realised that I had to get out, but I did not know how to get out safely. That was the problem. I had been married for 24 years to a very nice man. We met very young, and he just happened to get cancer and he died. And so what happens is, usually the recently bereaved could be a target for someone who can be abusive. And because I was still grieving, it was a bad decision obviously to get involved with someone else, but because I had no experience of domestic violence, I did not notice any of the red flags that come up. My son was 14, and I felt very guilty that I was in the situation that I was in, and of course he was also in it because I had taken him there. And the guilt is terrible, but he had noticed that there was some bruising on my arms, and he asked about it, and I told him I fell. I didn't tell him the truth. And when he said to me, "Those are finger marks, you don't get finger mark bruises from falling," I then thought to myself, why am I lying about it? Why do I feel guilty? I haven't done anything wrong. And that was a groundbreaking moment for me, because I realised that now other people can see that something is going on and you have to do something about it. I didn't know about legal aid. I didn't know that there was such a service. And I got the legal aid line number, which I called. They were able to come that day. An attorney was free for that hearing, and she attended, and it was just a big sigh of relief, because I knew when she walked in that she was an attorney. I just knew that she was an attorney, and I knew that she was coming for me. It absolutely makes a difference. If I didn't have an attorney, I don't know that it would have turned out the way that it did. I don't know that I would have been able to keep myself safe.
95% of my work is with domestic violence and sexual assault victims. Most of that work is directly to get them a protection order to keep the abuser away from them. But it also can include helping them with their housing issues, working with their, getting them back on their feet in terms of reestablishing a life, credit, housing, job. They've been isolated, they've been abused, they need to start over. Legal aid is incredibly important. Someone in a poverty population isn't going to have the economic means to hire an attorney to assist them with their legal needs. You need to have an attorney to help you with your legal problems. If you don't have the money, then you're not going to get a fair result in any courtroom problem. Domestic violence victims are usually lucky to leave with the shirt on their back. They may come from a household that has money, but they don't have access to that money. So virtually all of the domestic violence victims need legal aid to represent them.
I've had the opportunity to see firsthand how legal aid helps a cross-section of the community and individuals that really need it, that the private bar just can't do. I'm the representative from Erie County. I think that's one of the best things about legal aid, that it stretches all the way around Western Ohio, and we have representatives on the board both on the client side and the attorney side, and geographically from all over Ohio. In order for individuals to be equal under the law, you have to have access to justice, and there's no way to have access to justice without being represented by an attorney. There's no way for the average person to walk into court and understand the technicalities of the law and how the law is applied to their specific situation. So what we do at Legal Aid is afford people that opportunity to have access to our court system, to have a fair shake at justice for them, and really there's no way that they could do that if they just walked in off the street.